All right. All right. All right. Oh, look at my mic. It's just bouncing up there. And good Friday morning. So here it is. End of the week. Rather choppy week. Didn't really go anywhere. But let's take a look right here. Um, Big day for news. Okay. Personal income, month over month, personal spending. They're going to look at personal spending. Forecast is 0.2. Everybody wants to see the market slow down or spending slow down. Although now everybody's leaning on the recession fear. Which, if you go back to my videos, when the Fed started hiking interest rates and we had this inflation fear, I was talking about how that was going to be the next wave. There should be options on news headlines. I'd make a killing. I can anticipate the bullshit that's going to be pumped. So I'm not so worried about the recession fears. We need things to come down in price a little bit. People have money. Some people are frightened of the wealth destruction due to the housing recession, but it's really not that aggressive. And honestly, as you raise interest rates, people are less likely to access the equity that they're earning in their homes. So I don't think that the housing recession is going to have that much of an effect. I think we're already seeing the effect. And the housing recession is really more the supply and building. It's not really home value, and I don't expect home value to come down. But that was a rant for yesterday. So let's move on. Personal spending. Really, 8:30 is going to be a hot hour. Lots of things coming out. PCEs, retail inventories. It would be nice to see inventories go up a little bit. Previous were 1.5. And then the big news of the day will be Powell's speech. That's going to overshoot all other reports and market events. And then, a subtle one will be the consumer sentiments and expectations out of Michigan. And that's around 10, and that's going to be overshadowed by the Fed. By Fed Powell. And so anyway, watch that. It should be rather whippy. And I don't know. I think today is a weekly expiration of markets. So that could add to volume too. Although I kind of feel like I recall bringing that up last week. But anyway, let's just move on, shall we? So we're looking at oil, and I was hoping for a nice bear flag, but the retrace was too aggressive yesterday. So there's nothing in it for me for oil. I'm just going to watch that and see what happens. Yeah, I'm not really feeling anything. I might just really look at this little channel right now and see where it's going, right in here. And if you're into trading oil, if you wanted to set up a trade, you could really split these two, find out what the middle is, and then trade between the three zones. And it's a viable, good way to trade. You trade the breakouts in between three zones. Just understand that it doesn't move too aggressively because it fights all the chop in between. And the move is on the breakouts of the major support and resistance. But there's money you could make in oil. Gold, once again, neutral pending a flag. So it actually executed this. I was neutral pending this flag. It executed overnight. I didn't get in on it, but that's cool. It just doesn't move so aggressively that I'm interested. And really, I haven't even taken any trades on gold. So we'll just call it a filler. Bonds have been interesting. And we expected that little retrace yesterday because they got oversold, but they got negative again. So now we're just waiting on a flag. So I'm going to hang out, say there's nothing really going on with bonds. If we close up here, we set up a bear flag, and we could wait for the break of today's low tomorrow. If it breaks yesterday's low today, it's not really that good of flags. Nothing so encouraging. So I'm just going to chill out, watch that really say there's nothing going on in bonds for me today. And then that takes us to the Bitcoin. And yeah, it broke that little micro trend in there. Not really moving that much. Yeah, everybody's just sitting back waiting on the Fed. Whoever is trading is waiting on the Fed. Keep in mind too that traders are on vacation, and you could actually see it if you trade options, man. Look at the spread between the bid and the ask. The spread is so wide because the volume is so low. It's really it's rough to trade there. Actually, my boy Anthony's probably getting beat up because he as soon as he takes a position, just right on the bid, he's at a considerable loss. So it's probably hard to make money. I should have warned the cat before, but hey, you know what? He wants those warnings. Yo, you got to kick up the do-re-mi into Patreon, and then you get the personal phone calls from Dave at 3 a.m. Like, dude, don't trade options. Yeah, for the next 2 weeks, I mean, the spreads are pretty wide on options. You can get hurt, so you be conservative. So BTC, yeah, nothing really going on there. Tell you the truth, it could be setting up a little flag right here, but it's too light. Volume's too light. Everything's too light. There's no volatility. Nothing for me to trade, to tell you the truth. And let's see if we could swing this bad boy onto the other screen. Dink. And let's look at the ES. All right, interesting. I was clocking the ES on a fib from the previous high, and actually did this yesterday. We were looking at the 38, and then bang, we hit that 50, and here's the retrace. All right, so is this a flag? I don't know. The momentum's fading off. I don't think we got more upside. I think we're going to chop around a little bit, but I think we might be looking at a bear flag on the daily, but that was a good target, that 50%. Yeah, boy, here's a bear flag right here on the daily. So we'll watch that. I mean, it may not happen. We're moving down, retrace, and continue its march down. Very possible. Momentum might be rolling. I mean, I'm looking for a double top. I mean, this top and a sell-off, I'm looking for a double top. But, I mean, I could argue that this would be a head and shoulders. And breaking this neckline. Yeah, this is what I was looking at yesterday. 278, 110 is 160. Yeah, so we're looking at that 39.50. Everything I look at says we're going back to that 39.50 mark. So, I mean, I would play that respectively and say we're going back to that 39.50 mark. So I'm just watching ES for a break here. I'll probably get involved here to get aggressive and look for it to break this low right here of, I'll even go one further actually, and I'll probably clock it like this. Take it from here, go to there. I'd probably be aggressive, hop in here. My stop would go up here. Take one off here and see if we could break this line. If we break this line, I think we rush it to the 39.50. I think that's what next week looks like. The move down to 39.50. So we'll keep an eye on it today. See what kind of effect the Fed has. Yeah, boy, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All right, so let's take a quick look at Tesla, see what it's setting up. We got the 5-minute. I want a longer term view of it. Uh, everybody knows that it's split, right? So now I think we're going to get some action. I'm seeing a pennant. So I'll keep my eye on that pennant, look for a breakout on it. This is long term. You could probably find a better trade on a short term. I would use this as a guide, then take my bias as we approach either this bottom breakout, get my bias to a bearish and find a setup on a shorter term, or a bullish setup when it's up there. That's how I'd look at it. Tesla, how about the Apple? Get a feel for what the country's thinking. Apple's just on a tear. I'm going to just let it go. This is a 5-minute. It's down in the extended. Let's look at the 240. I kind of feel as the 240 goes, so the day goes. And that's not a mock to Italians. Anybody know that? That's old school term, dago. Yeah, it looks like Apple's trying to push up to close up its gaps. That's as of yesterday. I don't think it's representing the aftermarkets in the charts. It is not. So, yeah, I mean, this could be a setup of a bear flag. You could watch it for a bear flag, but I don't see anything on the 240 that's encouraging me. The momentum looks like it's grinding down a little bit. Yeah, I think we're in for a rough couple of weeks. I just feel like everything's getting heavy right here, and it's going to sell off into September. There's also this psyche about September being a bad month. So, I mean, that's probably, even if it's a knee-jerk reaction, I think that's going to be the initial reaction towards the month of September. And let's see, Microsoft. Yeah, it's kind of looks like it looks like Apple. And you know what? I mean, you can't really understand what's going on. I mean, what was that push into the close, knowing the Fed speaks tomorrow and we got some inflation data? I mean, so why the push into the close? I mean, could you argue that somebody was jumping in because they felt good about everything? Or could you argue that some shorts were coming off the table because they're kind of worried about everything? I don't know, folks. I don't know. I'm confused. But hey, subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like, hit up my Patreon account. I'd really appreciate that. It's in the description. There's a couple of venues that you could participate in the channel in the description. We're thinking about setting up some programs in Patreon to help you guys out. Make it worth your while to be a contributor, get a little added benefit. So as those evolve, we'll talk about them a little more. And hey, I appreciate you stopping in. Remember, calm and cool when you trade. Should be at peace when you enter that trade. And I can't find my button. Oh, here it is. Good luck with your trades.